Come to downtown Catania with us to meet our friend Salvo. His family has had a presence in the heart of Catania for almost a century. His souvenir shop is like a museum, and his stories are just fascinating.
It's not your regular everyday tourist shop, Esther. I promise you that much. It's replete with a lot of history for you to appreciate.
This guy's a treasure. Questa è Regina Elena.
Elena, ok.
Elena e
mio nonno
nonno.
È questo signore qua alto a sinistra.
A sinistra?
Questo.
A sinistra.
Questo è mio nonno.
E Mussolini?
Mussolini è qua, è il primo a destra. È una foto che risale, no, questa è una manifestazione che è stata a Roma, sì, è datata aprile 1926.
1926,
sì. Mussolini qui
sì.
Aveva 42-43 anni.
Basta, l'anello non lo prendi? Meglio di no, Stefania, non lo userebbe, papà gli...
Mio nonno partecipò alla guerra della prima guerra mondiale.
Okay, his grandfather was in the First World War, and he started a tobacco shop right here on Via Etnea number 1.
Al
Numero uno.
Sì, fu data questa tabaccheria dalla regina Elena. Una tabaccheria che allora si vendevano non le sigarette, si vendeva il tabacco e le cartine.
The carts and the tobacco, but
Sì.
before his grandfather sold the place or gave the place to a couple, una coppia,
Sì,
and
di persone che erano marito e moglie,
and husband and wife.
perché lui era cieco, non poteva stare a contatto
Yeah.
col pubblico, non riusciva. Allora questa coppia lo aiutavano e vendevano il tabacco
E caffè.
e siccome qua tutto cominciava alle 3 del mattino, che ancora era notte fonda, perché? Perché di qua passavano tutte le persone che avevano il lavoro con il mare, tutti i pescatori, tutta la marina, sì, passavano di qua.
Okay, so his grandfather gave this place to a couple, and they ran the tobacco shop, and they opened up at 3 mattina, 3 in the morning, because the fishermen passed through here, all the people that worked with the mare, the sea, and they had a little coffee.
Sì,
And-
loro praticamente i primi che arrivavano potevano bere una tazza del caffè.
And they made the coffee, of course, the old-fashioned
Compravano.
way.
Dopo di questo avvenimento, quando mio padre partì per la seconda guerra mondiale, fu fatto prigioniero in Russia.
So his father was a prisoner of war in Russia, and he returned 1946.
Sì.
E lui ha aperto questo
Lui
negozio.
stette prigioniero nei lager dei russi 4 anni.
4 years he was there.
Pensa che la guerra finì nel 45, però lui tornò un anno dopo, arrivò qui nel 46.
He arrived 1 year later. Questo.
Con papà, con
He
mio
talked
nonno,
to his grandfather.
dice, quei signori si vogliono ritirare a Catania perché sono grandi di età.
And so
Questi
the people, the couple,
erano senza figli anche questi.
so the couple that
Dice,
ran the tobacco shop said they wanted to retire.
se tu te la senti, vai a Catania, perché la mia famiglia è originaria della provincia di Enna, non erano di Catania. A Catania c'erano questi negozi, ma non erano loro di là. Ecco anche perché loro avevano questi impiegati. Mio padre accettò questo incarico di andare a prendere in gestione la tabaccheria. Ed era il 1947.
E poi quando ha aperto questo negozio?
Questo lo aprì nei primi anni 60, o il 62 o il 63.
E perché? Perché lui?
Allora, perché? Lo sai perché? Allora, nel fine degli anni 50 ci fu un evento miracoloso a Siracusa. La Madonna, una statua o un dipinto, ora non ricordo bene, o fu una statua o fu un dipinto della Madonna che videro, ci fu un miracolo, dicevano, che lacrimava. Difatti rimase questa cosa della Madonna che lacrima di Siracusa. A Catania, dopo qualche tempo dopo qualche anno, era già credo il 1959, fu organizzato un grande evento religioso a seguito di questo fatto. E questo evento si chiamò Congresso Eucaristico. Tantissimi pellegrini per assistere, c'erano delle solenne messe una dopo l'altra qui alla cattedrale. Ci sono, mi pare, delle immagini che si vede una piazza Duomo gremita, pienissima. E da lì tutti volevano qualche oggetto da ricordo da portare a casa. E da lì ebbe l'idea papà di fare questo negozio di souvenir.
Here's the Grand Bazaar. It is really overwhelming coming in here and seeing all types of ceramics, very typical, but not just from Caltagirone, but also from Sciacca and Santo Stefano di Camastra. Look at these heads up there, some more puppets.
Ah, che bello, mamma che bello questo.
Tu, quando sei 17 anni, vero? 17
Io a
years.
17 anni.
Your dad, he came over here and his dad asked him to start working. Ma prima tu non piace questa?
No, ma io perché studiavo, avevo altri impegni, altre cose, poi papà piano piano cominciò a farmi venire qua.
Ma tu hai
negozio,
una passione adesso con tutti cosa siciliana.
Sì.
Let me tell you about this guy and the eye he has for all things Sicilian. I mean, he really vets a lot of these people out. Before he sells anything, he has to approve.
Abbiamo avuto molti contatti con vecchi pupari che oggi non ci sono più.
He has a lot of contacts with a lot of people who used to make these puppets, but they no longer make them like this. And here's some lava. And wait till you see the ceramic. This is seriously one of the best collections of handmade ceramics. Also, of course, tons of t-shirts and trinkets. But all of these have been here, like this, for example, has been here for over 40 years. Every time I come here, there's something new.
Stefania Bonifacio. Mi fai documentari con me. Si vedono già su YouTube.
These also have tons of nativity scene pieces because here in Sicily, it's really an art form to put different characters in the nativity scenes. And I've taken you to some places where really intricate 100+ pieces on the nativity scene. This is like a museum.
Ok, comunque c'è tutta una storia. Le cose siciliane
Sì.
sono delle cose particolari perché sono fatti, sono tutti lavorati veramente, realmente a mano da tanti artigiani.
All of this was made by hand, really made by
artigiani
artisans.
Che si sono tramandati questa arte di realizzare tanti oggetti da padre in figlio, quindi
From
da
father
tante
to son.
da tante
Lots
generazioni.
of generations.
E
peccato è molto non fa più.
Sono tante persone di talento vero, genuino, ma che purtroppo oggi stanno cominciando a diventare pochissimi.
There's a lot of people with the talent,
sono
unfortunately.
rimasti in pochissimi.
Unfortunately, very few left because I said to him, unfortunately, it's a dying art.
Purtroppo,
So there you go. This guy right here. Saluti tutti. Grazie mille per tutti che fai per Sicilia.
Grazie, grazie a te Esther.
And the store is right here on Via Etnea. I wanted to tell you 3 more things about Salvatore. First of all, about Queen Elena. Why did his grandfather dedicate that tabaccaria to Queen Elena? It turns out Queen Elena, who was married to King Victor Emmanuel III, was in the Red Cross, and she actually helped him, Salvatore's grandfather, during the war. So she dedicated that tabaccaria to her. The second thing I wanted to tell you is that, you know, we've been bringing clients, friends, and family to Salvatore since 2016. I have seen him firsthand, in person, take a magnifying glass and look at ceramic pieces to make sure that they were indeed authentic and handmade. And in fact, I was witness to him turning a guy away and saying, this is not handmade, you're not gonna fool me. And he sent him right away. The third thing, and probably the most important thing that I wanted to tell you about Salvatore that is so sad, is that he is the last one in his family that will run that business as of now. He has 2 daughters, and neither one of them nor their husbands are interested in running that shop. And there's no one else. All his siblings are gone, and none of the cousins want to do it. So it is a very sad thing to see 3 generations from that spot, from the heart of Catania. Imagine all the history that they've witnessed in that very spot, and all the people that came and went from all over the world. And you know, he even had a little bit of tears in his eyes, thinking that this is it. It ends with him. The store ownership ends with him. That makes me so sad. So that's a little bit more about Salvatore. You know what I was thinking? I am going to go back to Salvatore and ask him some more questions about his impressions of Catania and how it's changed in the 70+ years that he's been there.
It's just, he's got one story after another. I always enjoyed to visit. Matter of fact, every time we go by the shop, we drop in just to see him, just to say hello. I mean, he's a great guy. Great guy.
All right. And also in downtown Catania is one of our favorite restaurants. We're going to go to a cafe where Alfred's going to have an arancini, and then come with us to lunch. Alfred hasn't had one of these in like forever. I can't remember the last time you had one of these.
6 months.
Minimum.
6 months. This is a good one. We're at Prespatino, right by the Duomo.
This is where we stop with all of our guests here in Catania.
In Catania, you come here for the best arancino around.
And the gelato and granita here are to die for. Let me see the inside. I've had a lot of oohs and ahs. People sitting right here having an arancini, a granita, gelato, or even a cassata cake. Buon appetito. Here's our appetizer, calamari. We're gonna not have anything really new. Go ahead, honey. Don't be timid. Because we come here for the tried and true delicious things. This is our stop here in Catania, called Antica Sicilia.
You know, Wes, it is a theory about these guys that they're really aliens from another planet. Did you know that?
And then here's where we eat when it's nice out. It's a beautiful room there. And up there you can see that's the way it was for the 1693 earthquake, that all of that was covered with lava. And it's a beautiful, beautiful room, dining room. This is where we eat when it's cooler out or in the winter. There's the wife. There's no way I'm going to eat all of this.
Really? You say that every time and then they're gone in 10 minutes.
There's one of our favorite waiters, Giovanni. And look what he just brought me.
All right, this is what you call a mystical experience.
This is the broth.
The broth.
Oh. Hallelujah.
No, seriously, these are probably the best ones she has consistently have. And then all of a sudden I get my food. Sepia. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In a couple of weeks, you know, Palm Sunday's gonna come around, which is very significant. It was actually the day my daughter Jennifer was born many years ago. However, what I wanted to talk to you about was the fact that when I was a little kid, me and my brother, Tommy, we used to be sent to a place called Mac's Men and Boys Store to buy our Easter outfits. Do people still buy Easter outfits nowadays? I'm not sure, but here's what I do know, is that every week after Easter, my mom used to give me $1 to walk down to Mac's and pay the bill, put it on account. That's the first thing I remember. Second thing I remember is my grandfather, Alfio Zappler, God rest his soul, who used to make for us and taught me how to do it, the crosses made out of the palms. Now, if you come to my house, or our house, excuse me, you will see palms festooned for the last 10 years that we have made. It's just unbelievable. That's the second thing, the palms. The third thing is the white chocolate. Nowadays, white chocolate is hollow on the inside. It ought to be arrested for impersonating an Easter egg. In those days, it was solid. And then finally, the last thing is when we used to go visit our elderly aunts and uncles, especially on my father's side. They would give us a silver dollar for Easter. You know, like a round silver dollar coin, not the one with the copper in it, a silver dollar. And we would kiss their hand as we would leave, and we would say, Zio, or Zia, Savanadiga. That's where I got Savanadiga from.
As Alfred was talking, made me think about growing up in a Hungarian Christian and Jewish household, because wherever we went, and I lived in Israel and Brazil before moving to the United States, we brought all of our traditions with us. And one of the biggest things is during Easter, many times Passover would fall around the same area, so my mom adjusted to it and had some Jewish meals as well as Easter. But my favorite memory is painting the eggs. Does anyone still paint Easter eggs? I mean, we would hand paint them with beautiful Hungarian, traditional Hungarian colors, and also the flowers and so forth. And then we would have ham with cloves and some kind of a gravy or sauce next to it. And my mom would make her famous smashed, yes, not mashed, smashed potatoes. And I still repeat that recipe to this day when I make Easter lunch for Alfred and I. The other one is that we used to have the matzah. We used to have, must be the same guy. So during Passover also you have the matzah, which is unleavened bread, and my mom made the best matzah ball soup you can imagine. So for me, Easter, one of my favorite holidays, Easter Esther. Jelly beans are my favorite, by the way. Peeps was once Alfred's. So those are just some of my memories growing up in a Hungarian, Christian, Catholic, and Jewish home. Okay, you know who this little beautiful girl is? She's Sylvia's daughter. Can you believe it? Como ti chiama?
Amelia.
Amelia. She's 16 years old, and she just brought the coffee. And I said, "Oh my God, who is this?" And yeah, the same eyes.
Huh?
Look at these beautiful people.
Beautiful eyes.
And she also has 3 anni? Cinque, no. And she's from Poland. I think I told you guys, we just found this out a little bit ago. This is her 16-year-old daughter. Can you even believe it? And she's working as a waitress. Huh. Grazie mille.
Prego.
E tu piace questo lavoro?
Sì,
Perché?
perché mi fa sentire libera, mi fa uscire dai problemi che ho in testa.
She is so mature. Do you know what she just said? She said, this type of work helps alleviate all the stresses in my mind. Brava. She's 16 and very advanced. All right, my friends, we still have room available in our June tour of the west coast of Sicily. Only a few spots available. And also the Tuscany tour. It's a once-a-year Tuscany tour that we're doing. Off the beaten path, rustic Tuscany. Plenty of vino, of course.
In September. That one is in September, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm going to do right now? For the next week, I'm going to eat codura. You know what they are, Resta?
Codura de uva.
Yeah. What is
Wait,
it?
uova. Uva is grapes. Uova.
Uva, uova, obra, uma. Remember David Letterman did that one time. But anyways, I want to eat the codura this week. This is a good week to eat the codura.
All right,
Anyway.
what did you guys think? Did you enjoy the show? Please hit the like. Thank you for being here. We love our community here on YouTube. And can you hear our next door neighbors? I think they're ready for lunch, and so are we. Ciao.
Ciao.